This is Talking on the Block here. Wait a minute. This is Talking on the Block here, and I'm bringing something interesting to the block. I never saw this one coming. I just simply didn't. I thought, I don't know what I thought. Truly, I don't. But what this lady said, she's I don't know whether she came through the Joe Biden. I don't know if she's illegal. I'm not quite sure, but just a conversation that we had just lets me know that her whole agenda is to get on government assistance and to skate through life within the United States and to take care of her children. I'm thinking, wait a minute, what? What is that? Is that right there your whole idea for coming to the United States? I just thought it was like, what? I like that instrumental. I really, really do. So, this lady at Walmart, don't know her. And I can't remember what I was looking for. And the fact that it was yesterday and I don't remember what I was looking for. Woo, okay. But the conversation really stood out to me because it just, how can I say this? It made me really question, why do most immigrants come to this country? It really did. I'm just like, this doesn't make any sense at all. It really doesn't. And now you have ICE in the air, and I'm not going to focus on ICE. I'm just going to focus on just the reasons why. The government subsidies. Because the United States pay in for government subsidies for people that might fall short, whatever it may be. But they're coming here from their countries. And when I say they, I'm especially illegal immigrants. And when you say illegal, people get upset. That right there is the legal term. The legal term for what the person presents themselves as. Their legal status is illegal, alien, or undocumented person. Either way, it's bad because they came here with the people in a government did not know that they're here. Now, if you're in Poland, they would go ahead and spray water on you to keep you from coming while you're trying. Whoa, I'm telling you. Woo! It's something. But I saw this clip and I'm like, this right here represents a lot of the reason why people come here. And we're not getting the people that run here with degrees, 4-year degrees, 6-year degrees, and from the university. And I'm not saying that they do not come. They do. They're just not in larger numbers the way Americans would like for them to be. The larger numbers are the ones that do not have a formal education. And the first thing what people scream is like, well, immigrants pay taxes. Well, you're supposed to. Weren't you paying taxes where you're from? Weren't you paying taxes then? I'm just asking for a friend, right? Then they say illegal immigrants and undocumented immigrants are the driving force for the work that Americans do not want to do. That isn't true. That's not true because we have people in this country that do not refuse the formal education and did not go to college. And some may be on some type of Social Security, to where they may have a birth injury and they may have some type of mental illness, whatever it may be, that prevents them from going further. So they need to take care of themselves in some form or fashion without heavily relying on the government and to allow them to work. Now, you have the people that are coming here illegally thinking, well, America is rich, so they can take care of me and my children. And you may say, hey, talking on the block, but right there is kind of rough. No. Let me listen to this clip right here.
Immigrant living in the U.S. in 2026, then this is something that you need to know. Here are 3 websites that you should know. Save this, share this, send this to someone because you might not need it today, but someone else might. Number 1, know your rights. This is the most important. If ICE ever comes to your door, do not panic. Go to a website called nnirr.org and you'll find emergency hotline numbers for every state. You should also download Know Your Rights red cards from redcardorders.com. These are made by the Immigrant Legal Resource Center. The cards are available in over 15 languages and you can hand it to ICE at the door. You won't have to speak because it says your rights for you. Number 2, if someone gets detained, do not panic. Visit a website called locator.ice.gov. This helps show you exactly where that person is detained, and you can also call this number. You can enter the number to check if a removal order exists. And for proper legal guidance, bookmark immigrantjustice.org. This is from the National Immigrant Resource Center, and they explain what you should do in ICE encounters in very simple language. Number 3 is free healthcare if you're uninsured or in between jobs. This one is so important and not talked about nearly enough. If either of those apply to you, or you're even just scared of medical bills, go find and download this app called August. Here, an AI doctor gives free primary healthcare guidance without any insurance or paperwork. Lastly, and most importantly, being an immigrant means that information equals safety. So save this reel and forward it to help someone out.
Yeah. Now you got to stop and ask yourself. And also, I thought that one went in, I can't find the other one, that went into government housing, getting food stamps and Medicaid. Of course, the young lady talked about getting health care, free health care. That doesn't even... Americans can't even get that, and heck, veterans can't even get that. So it really shows how the American politicians have gone against its own constituents for people that have no legal standing at all. And if you go back, the first thing that she said was, wait a minute. Let's go back over real quick.
Immigrant living in the U.S. in 2026, then this is something that you need to know. Here are 3 websites that you should know. Save this, share this, send this to someone because you might not need it today, but someone else might. Number 1, know your rights. This is
okay. Know your rights. Now, if you're undocumented in a country that doesn't know that you're here, and the Constitution clearly states people that are naturalized citizens are born here by parents who are naturalized citizens. How do you even have a right to stop the government from removing you? You, the individual that knowingly came here illegally through the cloak of darkness at night, going across some border or from a plane or whatever, parachuted in. Okay, wow. And they have rights. Now, for me, I find that beyond comprehension, and people are taking advantage of this, which people are upset. They're screaming and hollering, trying to keep from going back to the country that offers them no resources that Americans fought for. Now, I'm not saying that you didn't try to get resources from your government, nor I'm not saying that you didn't try to gather your people together to work towards providing safety, economical safety for people that fall a little short. I'm not saying that you didn't try to do it. What I'm saying is that you didn't do it. And not a lot, but but there's a certain amount of people that want the easy way in life and they don't want to build anything. They just want it given to them. Now, when you have that mindset that you want something given to you, then you wind up like the woman that I'm getting ready to discuss. Now, she's East African. I know that much. I don't know if she's Ethiopian or from Eritrea or Somalia. I'm not quite sure. But when I was asking for something, and I don't even know how we got in on this conversation, but I know she initiated it. I just don't remember how it happened. So she was talking about getting government housing, getting public assistance housing or whatever you call it, Section 8. And she was working on trying to get that. And I'm like, why do you want Section 8? She was like, so my children and I can live. I'm like, well, what do you think America is? You know, America is, how can I say, still a capitalistic country, but it has more and more social programs, and dare I call that socialism? Dare I call it that? And she said that, you know, that she's getting food stamps and Medicaid, and she's working here at Walmart, but she wanted to get public housing because things are too expensive. And I said, well, let me ask you something. Let me ask you, where you're from, were you poor? She said, yes. And I said, well, let me ask you again, why do you want government programs that is the poorest of the American people outside of being completely unhoused? What exactly are you showing your children? She's like, huh? And I was like, okay, let me break it down to you. I said, government assistance should be temporary to get yourself off your feet and to move beyond it by getting an education and then going into professional realms. For the most part. But there are people in this country that fall short and need this assistance that all Americans paid into. So why do you go from your status in your country that was poor and to come to the United States and maintain that same poverty? And I said, right there is the least of what American people are, the very least. So you're showing your children how to be the very least and not be the best. And she thought about it. She goes, well, you're right. And I said, well, thank you. I'm just stating the obvious. So why do you want these government programs? Because it makes people mentally lazy. It makes them physically lazy. And they hold those positions. And when I say position, I don't mean a job opportunity. I just simply mean I guess not a job, but getting government to take care of you. And then you get the government give you a place to live. They will give you food. And then they will give you medical care and shelter. And none of that is through your own hard work. And she goes, yeah, you're right. You're right. And I was like, yeah. But I'm looking at her like, if that's the reason why you came here, then you came for the wrong reason. Now, I started to tell her under immigration, if that was your mindset, you would have never qualified to be in the United States. Because Joe Biden cut a lot of corners and not so much cut corners, but simply ignored certain immigration laws that would attract the best and the brightest, or trying to reach there, because the best and the brightest normally do not leave their homeland. The rich do not leave their homeland. It's just the ones that are on the bottom leave their homeland. And that right there is the norm, right? Not the outlier, the norm. I didn't tell her that I was thinking about that when she was telling me her great plan for her American dream. I'm just going to put it like that. And when I walked away, I walked away thinking, is this the mindset of majority of the immigrants? And she just happened to be East African. I mean, they could be from anywhere in the world that has that same mindset. I pay taxes, so I should get stuff for free. I worked hard. Well, no, you got to continue working hard. You got to achieve, or you should achieve a certain goal, especially if you are immigrating here. I just thought that was quite interesting. I'm just like, and then if you really okay. Let me go ahead and hit this point home. When you go to like fast food restaurants, and you're going to see a lot of immigrants working there, you're going to see very few Americans. And when I say Americans, I mean Americans that were born in this country. I'm going to keep it just like that, right? And they're not young. Young Americans are not working these fast food restaurants or these or the retail. These are the people that are in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, barely understanding English, and they're getting whatever jobs that they're able to get. And just by the quality of jobs they are able to get shows their preparedness to come to a country like the United States. They're doing the jobs that teenagers would do if they weren't taking up all these jobs, would do. And then to go to college or technical school to get a degree or some type of certification, then to move on to their professional realm. These people here, no, they stay there. They work there for like 10, 20, 30 years, and they don't move on unless they get fired to get another job. And because the United States is on a different economical status, but it's going downhill fast, people don't understand that, and they're going to get clobbered. These immigrants are going to get clobbered badly because they're not prepared. And then since they come to the United States, they're still not preparing themselves to compete because it's going to get real bad. And you knowing somebody is not going to help you if you do not have the merits, meaning the paperwork backing you up saying that you could do the work that you claim that you could do, and your homegirl hookup or your homeboy hookup is not going to help you because your evaluation is going to look bad at the person who hired you. So it's going to be rough. So I just sort of thought about that, and I'm just like, how many people have this East African woman's mindset? And if you look around and you go into the statistics of people getting federal aid, there are very few Americans, white Americans and Black Americans and Americans in between that are naturalized citizens and first generation born. They fall into that category, but not as heavy as the people that come here either illegally or through TPS and overextend their visas. But it's something that we should really pay attention to. And the fact that they are, oh man, crazy people. You have these liberals, and I don't mean to go off on this part of it, but you have a certain group of Americans that are throwing themselves in front of ICE to stop these federal agents from doing the job that America says, as far as the Constitution, to protect its borders, that are getting in front of these ICE agents, and they don't have the same rules and regulations that state employees or state law enforcement have. They can chase you from state to state, county to county, and get you. And you could sit there and sue all you want. You could sue, and sue, right? It doesn't change the fact that you were illegal, and you know it. And I heard this interesting thing. Where you lived at, you were eating steakums, and now that you're here in America, now you're getting T-bone steak, Salisbury steak, New York steak, whatever other type of steaks. You don't want to go back to steakums. You only get out of your homeland as far as what you put into it. If you put nothing into it, you get nothing. If you put something into it, you get something. But waiting for a magical genie to come down and make your life so much better, it's not going to happen until you pull your sleeves up and actually do the work that you need to do. But I just thought that was interesting conversation. I thought I would bring it to the block. So I'm bringing this to the block, and I would like for you to put some thoughts down and to carry this conversation on, because I want to do more videos on this. All righty.